Welcome to the Killer Innovation Show, the longest continuously produced podcast in history. Each week, Phil McKinney brings you the insights and strategies to amplify your creativity and innovation skills. Here's your host, Phil McKinney.
Welcome to this week's Killer Innovation Show. We are recording this from the bus. Today's show, we're going to talk about scaling innovations. Many innovators believe that once they launch their idea, it's this really great idea. We're going to put it out in the market, and wow, it's just going to be successful. That's not how it works. You have to have a scaling strategy. Just introducing it, just launching it, just throwing it out there is not enough. How do you scale your innovations? How do you get it to get traction? How do you get it to grow? How do you get customers to be attracted to it? How do you ensure all the elements around scaling that need to be there to drive your idea, your innovation to success? So, today's show, we're going to talk about the proven strategies to scaling innovations. Strategies that have worked, they've worked for me, but we also have other examples in the marketplace that we will talk about and how they have used scaling successfully to ultimately get themselves to be billion dollar plus kinds of businesses. So you want to listen through all the way to the end. We will also have a full transcript for today's show in the show notes. You can get that at killerinnovations.com or over at theinnovators.network, where the full transcript will be available, so you don't have to worry about taking notes and keeping track of all the suggestions that we give on how to scale. So, with that, before we jump into this week's episode, got that favor to ask: follow, like, and share. Follow us here, follow us wherever you get your podcast, subscribe to the podcast, like us, give us 5-star ratings, give us feedback that helps others find the show, and then share it. If there's somebody who you think specifically would benefit from today's episode, send them the link, send them a link to the show notes, send them a link to the audio file. And with that, without any further ado, let's hop in to this week's episode. In today's world, innovation is a fundamental component of a successful business strategy. It allows organizations to stay ahead of the competition, develop new products and services, and, most importantly, create value for customers. However, scaling up innovative ideas can be challenging because of the complexity of the process and the associated risk. Taking an idea or concept and expanding upon it to make a greater impact requires focus and effective scaling strategies. So why is scaling important? In today's world, it is not enough to have just a great idea or a great concept. To make it successful, organizations must scale their ideas or as they enter the market. This could be reaching a larger audience or market, or increasing operational efficiency, or generating more revenue, or enhancing customer experience. Without scaling, the innovative idea will become a niche and lack the impact needed to be considered a success. This lack of scaling will open the door to your competition to step in with their idea and quickly dominate the market. What are some of the common barriers to scaling innovation? One of the major barriers that can stop organizations from scaling up their innovations is a lack of resources. For instance, many companies may not have the capital to invest in new technologies or hire additional personnel for research and development. Another is organizations may lack access to talent or have difficulty finding qualified workers with the skills necessary to implement the innovative ideas. Organizations may face structural issues that inhibit innovation, such as bureaucracy, rigid hierarchies, and bureaucratic decision-making. These organizational structures often impede creativity and responsiveness, making it difficult for companies to scale new products and services. Another area is many organizations are unable to respond rapidly enough to the changing customer needs or industry trends, which are always changing, and it may leave them behind in terms of competitiveness. Another barrier to scaling up innovations is cultural resistance. Organizations may create an environment where employees feel comfortable taking risks and innovating without fear of failure or repercussions. This includes fostering a culture of collaboration and transparency so that all stakeholders know the potential benefits and risks involved in scaling up an idea. Without this type of supportive atmosphere, innovative ideas will likely never be given the chance they deserve to reach their full potential. So, are there some examples of successful scaling? Well, one example of an industry that has successfully scaled up its innovations is the technology sector. Companies such as Microsoft, Apple, and Google have created products and services that have revolutionized how people interact with technology. These companies are continuously pushing the boundaries of innovation, developing new products and services to stay ahead of the competition. Through their investments in research and development, they can develop products and services that meet customer needs faster than their rivals. Another industry is the entertainment industry. They have embraced innovative strategies to remain competitive in today's market. Streaming services such as Netflix, Hulu, Amazon Prime constantly innovate to provide customers with improved experiences and better value for money. These companies rely heavily on cutting edge technologies such as AI and machine learning to strategically analyze customer data to create tailored content recommendations for each user. Another is the automotive industry. Manufacturers like Tesla are pioneering a new era of sustainable innovation by embracing innovative ideas for electronic vehicles. Tesla has invested billions into R&D over the past decade to continuously improve its EV's performance, safety features, range capabilities, charging infrastructure, and overall driving experience. This company has also been very aggressive with its expansion plans around the world while introducing new features like autopilot self-driving options into its cars. And then let's not overlook healthcare. Healthcare organizations like Epic Systems have invested significantly into scaling up their innovations to improve patient care outcomes while reducing costs. Epic Systems has developed advanced software solutions to streamline medical record management, track patient health status more accurately, and enhance communications between clinicians and patients, automate administrative tasks related to healthcare organizations' operations, and on and on. All these technology investments were made possible through Epic Systems' large investments in R&D, which enabled them to make huge strides in improving patient care outcomes while keeping operating costs under control. So, what are some strategies for successful scaling? Organizations can use several strategies to scale up their innovation ideas successfully, such as developing partnerships with other companies is one that can help organizations grow and reach greater heights. By collaborating with other companies, organizations can leverage each other's expertise and resources to develop creative solutions and bring them to market faster. For example, Apple partnered with IBM in 2014 to create enterprise mobile solutions, which allowed businesses to access corporate data on mobile devices securely. This partnership enabled both companies to benefit from each other's strengths while ensuring the success of their joint projects. Another strategy organizations can use when scaling up their innovative ideas is open innovation. Open innovation involves leveraging external sources of ideas, such as customers and research institutions, to innovate quickly and cost effectively. Organizations that implement open innovation have increased chances of success because they can tap into a larger pool of creativity than if they had to try to innovate solely in house. Organizations can also use experimentation as a way to scale their innovation ideas. And this is focused on testing novel concepts with prototypes or running pilot programs for new products and services. Experiments allow organizations to examine the viability of an idea before investing heavily in it, which might save them time and resources if the experiment reveals flaws in their approach. And finally, organizations need to ensure that they have proper processes and systems in place when scaling up innovative ideas so they don't experience any hiccups along the way. This includes embedding strong project management practices across teams, setting clear expectations around timelines and deliverables, developing robust communication protocols between stakeholders within and outside the organization. These processes will help organizations maintain control over projects while mitigating potential risks associated with scaling up innovations. What about using outside technologies to scale? In recent years, emerging technologies such as AI have revolutionized how businesses operate and scale their innovations. AI powered solutions can automate processes and tasks to increase efficiency and reduce costs. In addition, AI can also be used to generate insights from data that can inform decisions related to product development, marketing campaigns, customer service improvements, etc. However, organizations must ensure they have the right infrastructure before attempting to leverage these cutting edge technologies so they don't experience the hiccups that you could anticipate from applying anything new. This includes having a strong IT team to maintain and manage the systems, adequate data security measures, and robust processes for handling customer data that comply with all the relevant regulations. By investing in the right infrastructure and using emerging technologies, organizations can gain a competitive edge when scaling up their innovations. This will enable them to stay ahead of the competition while providing better products and services to their customers. But what happens once you start scaling? When scaling up innovations, organizations may face several challenges, especially introducing new and potentially disruptive technologies into their products and services. A key challenge for organizations looking to scale up is the lack of established framework for developing, testing, and launching successful products. Without a well defined process for innovation, key process for innovation, there is a risk of wasting resources on initiatives that do not achieve desired outcomes or meet customer needs. This is not the time to shoot from the hip. Organizations must ensure they have the right processes to guide their decision making and manage projects from conception to execution. Organizations must also be prepared to manage customer expectations. As new innovations are implemented, customers may expect features or functionality that could require substantial investment in time and money. In these cases, organizations must explain why certain decisions were made and what benefits customers can expect from the new products and services. It will not be a complete innovation. Early on, managing customer expectations helps ensure scaling long term. Moreover, organizations must be agile when responding to changing market demands or customer preferences when scaling quickly. Customers' needs are constantly changing because of factors such as lifestyle changes or economic conditions. So, customers must continuously adjust their offerings accordingly while maintaining a high level of quality control. Companies should also monitor reviews and feedback from customers, as this can provide invaluable insights on how best to improve products and services. And finally, organizations must develop strategies for ensuring long term success when scaling up. Success isn't just from the ramping up, success comes from the long term scaling of the innovation. This includes creating robust systems for tracking progress and performance over time so that any issues can be identified early, addressed quickly, before they become major problems. This investment in advanced analytic solutions can help generate actionable insights regarding user behavior patterns, which can inform marketing efforts and product development strategies. Overall, scaling up innovation requires careful planning and implementation if it's going to succeed in today's competitive environment. So, what's an example of a company that has been successful at scaling up? Well, probably the best example out there is Amazon. When reviewing successful scale ups, Amazon stands out. Amazon began as an online bookstore in 1994 and has since grown to become one of the largest companies in the world with a market capitalization that is in the trillions. Amazon has been able to scale up its innovations through several strategies successfully. First, they have invested heavily in their IT infrastructure and data security measures to ensure that their systems are running smoothly and securely at all times. They also have developed robust processes for managing customer data, including encryption and two factor authentication, which help protect user privacy while ensuring compliance with all the regulations. Second, Amazon has been agile when responding to changing market needs and customer preferences. Through its advanced analytics solutions, the company can identify trends in customers' behavior patterns, which can inform product development strategies and marketing efforts. Third, Amazon has invested heavily in R&D initiatives, which have helped them to stay ahead of the competition while creating innovative products such as Alexa or AWS. By staying ahead of these technology advances, Amazon can maintain its competitive advantage while providing customers with cutting-edge products and services. And finally, Amazon has used strategic acquisitions, or what I sometimes refer to as innovation by acquisition, to gain access to new markets or technologies, which have enabled them to expand their reach worldwide while still staying true to their core mission to be Earth's most customer-centric company. This includes the acquisition of Whole Food Market chain stores throughout North America, as well as investments in healthcare technology firms such as PillPack Pharmacy Services, which could help revolutionize the way medication is delivered and processed on a global scale. Through these strategies and tactics, Amazon has been able to successfully scale up its innovations over time while staying ahead of the competition by leveraging new technology such as AI or cloud computing services for maximum benefit. As a result, they have become one of the world's leading e-commerce businesses. Innovation scaling is a complex and multifaceted process. It requires strategic planning, vision, and commitment from businesses to ensure success. It is important for businesses to assess the risk associated with scaling innovation before taking any major steps. They must also consider their current business environment, their resource level, their capabilities, and the customer base to determine which strategies are best suited for achieving the desired results. By understanding how various aspects of innovation scaling tie together, businesses can ensure that they are future-proofing themselves and setting themselves up for long-term success. Ultimately, if approached strategically, innovation scaling can help propel organizations forward while providing them with a competitive edge in their respective markets. One question you may be rattling around your head after listening to today's show is, what are the barriers, the biggest ones of the list that I gave? What are the one or two that are the most common barriers? And I'll tell you the two that I come across the most. Number one, resources. Financial resources, people resources, time resource. That is one of the biggest constraints. The second constraint is organizations not having an innovation process that includes execution. It's not just enough to have good brainstorming sessions and to come up with really great ideas. Ideas that are not executed are a hobby, and we're not in the hobby business. We're into making ideas real. That's what an innovation is. You need a robust innovation process that includes execution. How does your organization launch something new? How does it launch a new product? How does it launch a new service? And I would argue with today's show, how do you scale it? It isn't enough just to introduce it. You have to put it out at scale. That's where impact comes from. Otherwise, your idea, your innovation will always remain a niche. Now, hopefully with today's show, that challenges you to start thinking about scaling as an element of your innovation effort. Put the time in. Think about how your organization should scale, how you can take advantage of what you already do to help scale that next new idea, that next new product or services. I wanted to say thanks again for taking the time out of your schedule to join us on this week's show as we moving into 2023. We're a couple of months away for the launch of next season. We will be launching into season 19. Yes, that's hard to believe. Season 19 will start in March. So stay tuned. We will be making some announcements as we get closer to that time frame. But again, I want to thank you for taking the time out of the busy schedule. We will be back here next week with another episode. And in the meantime, work on your ideas. Don't let them go stale. Drive to the execution. And now also focus on scaling that idea to have the biggest impact. And go out and change the world. We'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.
Podcasting nonstop since 2005, this has been the Killer Innovation Show on the Innovators Network.